You know, I'm sure by the time I film and edit this review, I will forget most of this movie by that point. But honestly, I waited too long to even write this review since I forgot most of it by now. And by the time I am doing this review, I'm going to be in college in a week or two. Yeah, that's why I haven't done a lot of reviews recently. I'm busy going to, prepare for college and all that, so, please don't unsubscribe. Instead, watch my review of a movie you probably forgot even existed by this point. So, Secret Headquarters. Well, it reminded me way too much of Thunder Force from Netflix last year, and while it's not as bad, it reminded me of many problems I had with that movie. But still, it's not like I remember that much about that movie either. Either way, these movies are terrible. But before I go way too harsh on this movie, I should explain my mindset going in. I had very low expectations, but it looked like a harmless viewing because, most viewings I risk my life watching. It's just the kind of movie where no matter how bad or good it is, I'll move on with my day like it's nothing. And I did. But I still try to, be fair and see if a movie isn't as bad as other people say it is. I mean, I like they/them more than other people did, unless then other people who did give it a positive review. But I thought that the idea of this movie had some potential, for a Disney Channel movie. No, this is a Paramount Plus exclusive film, originally going to be in theaters too. After Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe made me laugh my ass off, it's probably fitting we got a movie that is just as bad as the other Paramount Plus movies I reviewed, which if you check my reviews, you'll see how terrible they are. But you know what? It's nice that this movie at best got me to snicker just at least one time. I went in hearing mixed reception from critics before I just saw audiences' opinions, so I thought it might either be good or bad, but now I know most people don't give a crap. But guess what? It's not only bad, it's just a waste of time. And writing this review is the only way it's not a waste of my time, so let's just get into it. The movie story comes from Christopher L. Yost, with a screenplay by Yost, Josh Koenigsberg, and Jost and Ariel Schulman, and co-directed by Jost and Schulman. I would, check if I'm pronouncing these names right, if this movie gave me enough respect to do so. Also, it's produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, but back to the movie that's directed by, Herny and Rel, the people who also directed together Paranormal Activity 3 and 4, Nerve, Project Power, and the upcoming Mega Man movie. Because I haven't seen any of those other movies, but, apparently they're a team, because this movie said it's a Herny and Rel film, like I'm supposed to know what that is. But with other people on board this project, like Owen Wilson and Michael Pena involved, I should expect better at the very least, since I guess those directors don't have the best filmography. But can I get better with those guys as the leads? Oh god, of course no. The answer is no. Look, the movie is pretty much what a studio would come up with if they wanted to cash in on the superhero fad, with Christopher Yost, from more research I've read, has worked on many superhero projects before, so maybe he should know better or not. I'm not really sure. With that said, though, what is the movie about? Well, the movie stars middle school kid Walker Scobell as Charlie Kincaid. You might remember him from the Argon project on Netflix earlier this year. Pretty much playing the exact same character again. He struggles in school due to his insecurities, and his father is not in the picture. In that movie he was dead. Here, he's just not around as often because he is secretly a superhero called the Guard, played by Owen Wilson. His father, Jack, is unable to spend time with his son since he's so busy being a superhero, and on the weekend that's both his birthday and time they get to spend together because, well, he has to leave Charlie to get picked up by his mother, not knowing Charlie secretly invites his friends over instead of calling his mom, and he and his friends stumble upon Jack's secret headquarters under his house. Shenanigans ensue until the evil company Argon, run by C.E.O Michael Pena, gets involved, and you can guess the entire movie from there on out. That was refreshing. Now to go on this rant. This movie is unoriginal, predictable, unfunny, and pointless. The backstory for the Guard is pretty much Green Lantern if Green Lantern got an Iron Man suit that made him Impossible Man. It takes more than an hour to even see Owen Wilson in this superhero costume, which means no superhero fights. It's not about that, but it would have been nice if it broke up the monotony, whatever. Look, the movie does everything you expect. It leaves no impression. I forgot most of what I watched already. The premise sounds like a kids movie for Disney Channel, but the fact that this was going to be originally in theaters makes me have to judge it like so because of the names involved. I'm sorry, I can't just judge it like it's a Disney Channel movie, because, if it was a Disney Channel movie, it'd be good for a Disney Channel movie. Actually, no, I've seen better Disney Channel movies. Not off the top of my head, but I'm getting off track. Okay, so yeah, the names involved. Owen Wilson's okay, and Michael Pena's fine. I mean, I actually think the best performance was Jesse Williams as Sean and Irons, who the orb that gives Wilson his superpowers chose Wilson over him since they both found it at the same time, but we have the evil CEO when Williams already has a good motivation to make him the lead villain instead of a side character. But we need Pena and Wilson. It's a comedy after all. I didn't laugh once, okay? I almost snickered that one joke that had the janitor, but that was it. The kids are one-dimensional and boring, with the best friend relationship between Scobell and the character by Keith L. Williams falling flat, especially since the latter is miscast as the nerd character. In a way, I feel like he was signed on before hitting puberty, since he's taller than the other kid group characters. Like, if you have all four of them in a lineup, he's way too tall for it to be the same, or look the same at least. Like, okay, he has an older brother in the movie, but he's the exact same height as his older brother. I mean, he's supposed to be the weak guy, he's the weak nerd you'll beat up, but, like, he easily looks like he can handle himself in a fight. And the idea of this scenario is kids finding these gadgets in the secret headquarters and using them for their everyday lives, such as cheating on tests with a teleporter, or joyriding in the turtle van, which leads to the police chase that could probably harm many innocent people. I say the turtle van because the Batmobile of the movie looks like the van the Ninja Turtles would use. Not even similar, just looks like, reminds me of the Ninja Turtles van. Because, this movie is unoriginal. It has to steal from Ninja Turtles of all things. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it like that. It hasn't been done before. The movie's comedy is just so nothing. And if this movie was just made for kids and not adults, so obviously me being in the age to enter college, sure, that wouldn't appeal to me. But there are two references they make minutes from each other, with one character saying, "The SpongeBob lives in a pineapple," and another character saying, "Wow, it's like Zero Dark 30 in here." Yeah, that goes back to back. There's one character I thought was going to be a social media star stereotype, but she's also the smart one, while our friend is just the love interest for Walker Scobell. He's fine, I'm sure he'll be good as Percy Jackson, but here, everything about this movie, again, is unoriginal, predictable, unfunny, and pointless. Everything you think will happen does happen. It reminds me way too much of what it steals from for me to pretend like I had any point of interest. The only positives I can think of are that it's inoffensive and won't ruin your mood, I guess. I never had a point I couldn't stand watching the movie, so I didn't mind watching from start to finish. And there are worse options, so it's not like one of the worst movies I've seen this year. If I rather watch this bland piece of trash again over other movies, I think less of, but try a little harder. So while I didn't despise the movie, I'm left feeling nothing for the movie. At least Thunder Force made me feel angry by the end, so I guess this is better by default, because weeks later, no one talks about this movie. No one is going to remember this movie. It's just a nothing movie, which is really sad because, it was all for nothing. I give Secret Headquarters a 2 out of 10.